Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the ZwiftPower live broadcast of the ZRacing Series. We are out on the London Classique. Lap it up, stage 5. 2 laps. It's going to be a quick one. There's a good lead in, then 17K after that for 2 laps. And you know, Nathan Guerra here, Dave Towle. I don't know if I'm ever changing that music. It's been, we took 1 week off, and then I hadn't heard that music for like a week, and then because sometimes I'm like, oh, is the music getting old? I'm not sure, and then I just heard it, and I was like jamming. I'm like, all right, here we go. It's like it's such an anthem for us. It's so great, actually.
Did you see me? Are you making fun of me? Is that
no,
what we're doing
I'm not.
Here?
Yeah, well, sometimes I do see. So every time I turn the music on, just so everybody knows, in pre-productions, I see Dave kind of like jamming. He's kind of dancing a little bit.
I was actually going to try to figure out how I could get it into my iPhone to listen to.
Well, I'll have to get it for you. Yeah. It's called Go Downtown. It's called Go Downtown is the... and I think you can find it out there, everybody. So we do have a good race out here for you today. We are going to be jumping in with the A's here real quickly. They are out on course, and there's attacks going. I see ghost power-ups. I see some draft power-ups being thrown down. I see some really familiar names actually out here. So let's jump right down into that A category. We'll cover across all the categories today. The only one that may struggle is the D's, but I think we can get in there. We definitely have C, B, and A coverage currently for video feeds at the moment. I'm not jumping in with a very familiar, though, name from the community right from the get-go. It's really great to see, actually, Josh Power out here jumping in. Right from the get-go, he's throwing out 8 watts per kilogram for a solid minute or so. Riding for that WLC team. He's going to have some teammates out there. I believe Podsline is here, as well as Tarek. We'll see what they can throw down in this ZRacing series stage number 5. For those that may be new, probably not too many new viewers for this up front, but right from the get-go, but maybe there will be that do not know. But the ZRacing series is a series that goes on throughout the entirety of the month with the stage each and every week. The Mondays is the big race day for the stream that we put on, and a lot of times does boost the numbers as well as lowers the GC times that the riders tend to get. With Josh attacking off the front, as you can see, tends to get a little bit of TV time and up those speeds. But the whole point of this series, in some ways, is introductory racing to the community, as well as a place that you can show up on the hour, every hour, for a race and go for that GC time. You can race it as many times as you want for the stage in that week, and that adds on to... not adds on, but that will, if you get a better time, will then replace your best time in those GC standings, and you can get a stage each and every week. This is stage number 5, London Classique. Here we go. Josh, it looks like on a little bit of attack for a moment there. Back into the pack, though, Dave.
Yeah, it's a fantastic day, Nathan, to come out and race and work out team tactics as well. I think that's what we're going to see. Well, we've seen the Dragons using this as their playground, but Wahoo Lacole showing up and definitely going to be organizing an interesting finale out here today. This has become, and I really do mean this, there's something about familiarity that's why you like to have a circle of friends. Same reason. And sometimes it can be not necessarily friends, but people you just enjoy, like your soccer league guys. You don't love everybody on the pitch, right? But these are the guys you like playing with. There's it's good to get out into the scrum or mix with, and that's exactly what you get here. As Nathan said, these races are usually pretty darn quick. They're tactical, no doubt, but in general, most folks are out here to get in a good, hard effort, so we don't mess around much, do we? Exactly right now.
Yeah, it's true. And you can see AMM, De Miguel de Lucas, as well as Hunt, all toward the front. This is going to be one of the main places, I think, out on course that we're going to see some attacks. Jean Worm, a very, very familiar name, one of the top sprinters that we know of in the racing at the A+ level. EP chasing that down, it looks like. Powers there. Podsline, it looks like. Kev Fowler as well. Ozer. KK showing up from the Dragon. It's going to be Flores. A lot of familiar names here up toward the front in this A category. Look at the bike. Is there neutralization, or is that just a swap that didn't take place in the game? Because that's an interesting one if he is showing up on that safety bike here. A little bit of a flex. Now Power over the top and going to back right on off. Is there a split? It's going to be the question. As far as places to split it, It's not on the climb. It's right here, Dave. Speed after the top.
Yep, Nathan, you've talked about it. You're absolutely right. This isn't Zwiftcraft. This is just straight up smash mouth bike racing here. And what applies in real life is going to apply here is they are hitting so hard it's going to do damage at the back of the group. This is a course that you are able to use as just get some leverage out there. And they're really, really pressing right now. Mafa Tarek, this is one of the stars that we have. Nathan, it's an interesting group here when you look at our A field. There's a lot of riders here that have competed at the highest level in the big time Zwift events, Zwift games. So not a majority of these riders, but there's enough that it makes it really, really spicy. And this is one of them. So Nathan, we talked about working out team tactics. That's what Wahoo Lacole's doing right now.
It is, and we can see over the top, over and over it again. And as far as teams that really know how to play those tactics out, as you can see with Michael Podline now coming over the top, chasing down Kirkfield, as you can see, going to try and get full advantage of the monster that is Kirkfield off the front. Now it is going to be Michael Podline for WLC. So WLC here getting a lot of TV time up front, but I think that's just because they want to be involved in anything that could go off the front of this race. And Dave, in a race that's flat like this, high speed over and over again, creating the right amount of mayhem and the right amount of churn, that is the name of the game for getting a break to go. At any moment that the pack settles down and there isn't this constant churn at the front and just taking advantage of the speed over speed over speed, eventually you can make the elastic snap if those punches at the front keeping the speed high are hard enough. That's the name of the game, and you can see it's right on the edge right now because back there may be some riders that do not necessarily want to waste the energy and make the chase.
Nathan, have you ever heard this saying before? Racers make the race.
I used it yesterday actually because Gabby was racing
I'm
a
just
crit.
kidding.
And I was like,
how many times have I said?
But I was like, remember how Dave says racers make the race? Because the day before, Gabby was a little bit more timid. It was her first crit race, kind of like at a Pro 1-2 level, and so like. It was a little bit too easy for her level, right? So then it ended up in a sprint. There was a team that kind of took advantage of that whole situation. Whereas the next day it was a little bit harder course. She was a little bit more confident, and bam, it was just attack after attack after attack. Split the group. It played into her hands, right? She made it fast. If you want a hard race, you've got to be willing to make it fast.
That cracks me up, Nathan, because that's exactly what would a Belgian director tell a rider who was complaining that it was too easy? They would say, go make it harder. Make the race. Make the race. It's your, this is where you are going to be the tête de la course at the front of the race today. So go do that. And it's really, that's exactly what Wahoo Lacole's initiative.
Look, they're doing it again
here today. Now,
power's going.
So, Nathan, there's a thing, going back to a boxing analogy of softening up the field, right? Just body blow after body blow that they're throwing here. So they're definitely animating and dictating things out here. Now, it's going to pay off for Kirkfield and the Dragons, or Jan Bauer in ESRT. It's a really, Carlos Flores is out here, the Chilean Condor for the World Elite Zwifters, and one of the very few riders. Well, I shouldn't say very few. It's good to see the Chilean representation. Is a better way to put it, Nathan, because seeing more and more riders coming out of South America is always encouraging for sure. That's maybe the next frontier to start seeing major Zwift racing happening, and we're watching it happen. And here we go, though. This is strung out. That definitely.
I wanted to highlight that real quickly, just Chile, though, because they actually have had a lot of talent recently that I've noticed, especially on the mountain bike side. They had the Road Nationals this past weekend. I heard Adrian Alvarado was like top 5 on the podium, actually, also a WLC rider. So just a big shout out to seeing some of the in real life crossover to the realities of, the virtual realities of Zwift as well. I have been hearing a lot, a good friend of the broadcast, Alejandro Milea, keeps me well updated on all things Chile, and there's plenty going on for cycling out of there, that's for sure.
Alejandro is just a great guy, and I agree, Nathan. Props to Chilean cycling, and it's always good to see someone on the rise out there. So, Nathan, props to you. my friend. I have absolutely appreciated what has happened over the last year, maybe a little more than that now with Zwift community, where we've focused a lot more on the Bs and the Cs and the Ds. And on any given week, you never really know which group. And that's a great thing to say because we want to keep everybody in the mix and make sure that we share the love. And it's impossible, Nathan, with 20,000-ish racers into something like the ZRL to show everybody racing, but we really do try to share that experience of being in the broadcast, and it looks like you've been able to get into a bunch of other races today.
Yeah, I am looking. I do believe in the B category. I saw. Is this going to be Charlotte Colclough jumping in here? It says C. Colclough. I'm seeing the Toyota Coyote. It looks like a female's avatar. So, yeah, it looks like this is going to be Charlotte Colclough. Let's go ahead and jump down into that B category race and see how things are playing out for them. As it does look like they're coming around that 7.3 kilometer marker all together here at this point. But let's definitely highlight some of the action that has been taking place. We've seen some attacks from that OUT team. SWAT's here with Laurent. We do have a rider obviously here with Colclough looking to get a good time amongst a mainly men's crowd here at this point. But Speidel at the front, the German, making some moves.
Nathan, I do notice Vanessa Janke, the German rider from Zwift Club, in this B group as well. So this is nice to see. There's a few women who have not only in this race, but more than holding their own. That's what you call punching above your weight out here. As they, again, for everybody just checking in with us, welcome back. The final race of the month here as Lap It Up goes to London Classique. There were 2 laps of racing. We're out on the circuit proper now. This would actually be lap 1 as there is a bit of a run-in from the pens to get you out on that lap. But we're well stuck in at this point, Nathan. Typically, these races are short and fast. The intensity is the name of the game. And but you do see things get tactical out here, which is a little bit, well, there you go. And as soon as you see them back off like this, you're going to see riders going up and over the top, or do we?
Yeah, Wickland here, ESRT, AXT there is BAXT from the Dragons, Walkendorf also from, it looks like ESRT have a lot of representation actually in this B category, and I have seen them doing some recruiting as of recently, so I do think that what's really interesting is what you see, Dave, when you have these teams that are mainly esports teams, right? They're teams that mainly race indoors, it seems like, and have a huge focus on that. A lot of times what you'll see is that in the months when people start heading outside, the teams
they don't drop
and their
off,
recruitment
right,
starts going way up actually. It's this timing where all of a sudden you start seeing, and also like some people start jumping on the platform at kind of like what we'd say maybe an odd time for people to be getting on Zwift, perhaps depending on what kind of way that you get introduced to cycling. And so you have these teams that are esports focused that all of a sudden just have this burst of recruitment. I definitely see a trend like that with teams like ESRT.
Nathan, I've never thought of that before. That's a really good point, to be honest. And look how many ESRT riders, as you were noting, are in this race. And also with the ESRT, note the varied nationalities on that squad, right? So they're clearly recruiting globally. And this is a bit of a window of opportunity for folks who are looking to, as you said, not everybody who does esports is going outside and racing in the summer. They're definitely specialists here. And we got some of them right here on the front of this B race, Nathan. As this is now being strung out here, they're going to split this group if it gets a little bit harder here. I mean, we're not quite at that bursting point, but we're headed that way.
I was just jumping in with the Dirt Rider a moment ago, and I definitely want to highlight, I got a message through on their Discord, and just as a community outlet, there is a memorial ride. I just want to give a heads up about this for Eric Weisenberg. We'll also highlight this. We won't be able to highlight this on the podcast this week because we're on a 2-week break with the podcast at the moment. So I want to make sure that we highlight this right here and right now as we were looking at a Dirt Rider just a moment ago. Back in August of 2023, he did pass away from the Dirt. And it was a major part of the Dirt family, and they're doing a memorial ride actually for him on Sunday, May 5th. So if you are looking for that, it is live right now as an event on the Zwift calendar. It's the Eric Weisenberg Memorial Ride, and there's plenty of information there in the event about him and the ways that he did bring so much enjoyment to the world of Zwifting and the Dirt crew. So there is information about that also over in the Dirt Discord. Reach out to Dirt if you're looking for more information. Sterny from Dirt did post that just recently in their Discord, and I just seen the Dirt brand there for a moment, and it just popped in my memory. I wanted to highlight that and just let the community know that if you did know Eric, or if you want to support that memorial ride, you can jump onto it 10 a.m. this Sunday, May 5th, and really appreciate Dirt and everything they do to keep that family going. And that's the reality of community life here. I mean, we've been around for almost 10 years of Zwift, coming up here pretty quickly, and that's the real telltale of being a community, is going through it all together.
Yeah, well, thanks, Nathan, and rest in peace, Eric. That's one of the things that's a really good example of what community is and the fabric that's been built up over those 10 years as well, Nathan. So thank you for noting that. Back to the racing here. We're going to be heading out on the last lap here in a moment. Our beats we got.
And it looks like Windridge here. Windridge trying to make a move. He's using that invisibility power up. Let's speak to that a little bit. How difficult the invisibility power up can be to try and actually make something happen with it. But when you do, it's one of those situations where with the invisibility power up, which I did see Windridge just use just a moment ago, I believe, it's like the risks you take in a crit race or a road race where you're like, is this gonna work at all? Once in a while it can maybe, but usually gets chased back down. But when it does work, everyone kind of goes, I don't want nothing to do with that. And they all sit up. You're hoping that once they see you off the front, nobody goes. And looks like not today, but once in a while it can work.
It's kind of like that "Give Me 3 Steps, Mister" song, right? Like, if you can just get those 3 steps, you force them to, meaning that, like, if you use this tool correctly, you go invisible as you ramp up your attack from the middle of the peloton. So as you are at top speed, they don't see you for a remarkable amount of time. When they do notice, then they have to make a decision. Are we going to chase? Am I going to chase? Are you going to chase? You put the ball in their court. And that's what that power-up allows you to do, more or less, right? It gives you a chance to kind of surprise them. And it works, but you still have to do all of the work, is the thing, right? It doesn't make any easier to get that gap. You just get a few beats where they are not noticing.
100%. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Can you take full advantage of them? You got to have some pretty good Zwiftcraft to make that happen, honestly.
You do.
And
you got to be strong to break away, Nathan. Let's be honest, right? I mean, in any of these races, when you look at it, in order to get that delta, that difference, to get a 5-second gap, you have to really make an exceptional effort, and then we'll find out if you can recover quick enough to make it worth it.
Now it's all together here. The C categories, you can see we do have double of the Bs here on the bottom there. But on the right-hand side, the C category, we will be in with them in just a moment. They're only just starting their final lap. We're going to catch the final few K of the Bs and the As, and then we'll jump across to that C category. T. Hansen, though, in that C category, making a little bit of a move, as you can see in the upper right-hand corner there. Real quickly, just going to highlight this, as it looks like Hansen currently 3.0 watts per kilogram, just coming through. This is actually a great section, of course, to make a move, because it has this downhill speed that you gain in the negative 1%, but then coming through with speed and bumping into this little 1% or 0% gradient here for just a moment after that downhill through the start-finish banner, not start-finish, lap-finish banner. As not able to take full advantage of it, but one of the best places actually to make an attack was right there. So nice job by Hansen there, coming out of Norway. We will jump back in with them in just a moment in order to get their finish here, but we're coming into the 1K to go banner here for the A's. So let's go ahead and jump back on over to that A category and then get their finish, and we'll go out right on through the A's, B's, C's, and then on over to the D category. But in the A category here, jumping in with Salmer. Groom now moving up, it looks like here, right on the front, though. Who is leading things out? It looks like it's going to be P. Hunt, I believe, from HCT, looking to make his way to the front, but it's S right now as we come through the 1K to go banner.
Yeah, Nathan, it looks like we've got a classic Donnybrook on our hands here. It's Grupo Compacto, more or less. So we're going to find out who's going to it's going to come down to timing, Nathan, without any doubt. The man or the rider who's going to win this is right now got to be keeping it cool here. You can't go out too early because, I mean, my goodness, this is one of the finishes that these riders have reconnoitered so many times. And again, threading the needle here, that's going to be the name of the game. We are locked and loaded. This is going to be our finale, Nathan. It's going to be fun to watch this a few times throughout all of our categories, but this one is kicked off.
It has, and here we go now. The lead out's starting to start up. Well, everyone's kind of keeping it chill here. Here comes the mutants.
Or
though.
did it?
It's gonna be,
there it is.
There it is, invisibility power up. It's going to be Osbey making an early move. Osbey now with the invisibility. Nobody can actually see him here at this point here. Standerski here from the mutants. Now he's going to be popping up, and people are going to get a little bit antsy, I think. EP now coming through. 11 watts per kilogram there from D-Kong. Kong now. Kong from the team on here now out of Switzerland trying to pull through with that drafting power up. Is he going to be enough? He's got 12 watts per kilogram. I think the speed is here, but I have a feeling there's going to be some roll through. Jean Verm, no, on a downhill like that cannot be stopped. What? He's on the safety bike too. I love it. What a flex. What a flex.
Boy, that'll go down as the biggest flex of 2024. Mark it a big win for. So, Nathan, I mean, that flat out was timing, Zwiftcraft, all that's experience there. You're looking at a legendary Zwifter taking a win in our A category. He's doing the work, Nathan. This is how you stay on top of your game, getting the reps, getting out there and throwing down. The quality of that win, though, you know, judged by the quality of the competition, it's not going to be the biggest win of his career, but sure is a good sign for good things to come.
Liking what I'm seeing here in the B category, jumping on over to them, and it's going to be M. McCule. Here from, looks like France, Witkowski now coming up over the top. It was a good move. Nice little bump over the top of that climb into Trafalgar Square, but not going to be able to get here, but nice move here by Greipel. Greipel, I guess, is jumping into the race.
Is this Andre? It might be. Well, Andre Greipel's a big Zwifter.
He would have a verified badge though next to his name. Yeah, he would have a verified badge for sure.
To be fair, though, Andre Greipel spent a lot of time on Zwift, the legendary sprinter, but this is not him. Thanks, Nathan. But it's going to be axed here. So these guys are getting out in front of it, but this is dangerous ground to be in here.
Is that the actual H. Davies from WLC here in the B category race? Maybe lost a little bit of fitness and jumping in. I'm not sure. That'd be interesting if it actually is.
Is it the real Slim Shady? Or right.
They've got 2 seconds, Dave. This is dangerous. They've been working together a little bit here. The Dragons here now, 10 watts per kilogram here coming from BX. I think they're going to make it happen here in the German.
When you're caught in the riptide, Nathan, you got to do something, and it looks like the German has hit out with authority. It's still not necessarily enough, but I'm going to back him here into our finale. I love the courage. This is going to hurt, but he's got it, Nathan.
Oh, 100 meters, though. 100 meters. It's right to the line. No. And no, it's going to be at the front. I don't even know who took that. I think it was BN out of Ireland. I mean, that was amazing timing from the field. The field. They pulled that one off there. Boy. Nicely done.
I feel like I jinxed him, Nathan. I went too all in. It felt like that's exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm a victim of my own saying, don't go too early, don't go too early, time it, hold it, you know, and that's racing. That's sprinting right there. Beautiful, beautiful day of racing. Let's jump in with the C's now as we pick now. Okay, we can take a breath here, Nathan.
Speaking of racing tactics, look who we're in with for the sprint.
Oh, how fun. Our man, Paul Smith. I mean, Paul, we have really enjoyed your energy. Paul's out of England. He puts a great collection of posts up over the last few years. He's been fun to watch, a good energy person. But let's see who wants to take Paul on today. You know, he's not invincible, Nathan. I mean, we're big-time Paul Smith fans. But this group is always go-getters, and definitely they've got a nice group to throw down here. It's going to be a finale to remember as sprinters galore are getting a sniff of this finish line. Coming up here over the next 2 minutes, we're going to find out if you can actually beat Craig Harper, the Rhino, today, or is this Rhino going to gallop to win? Nathan, this will be fun.
Yeah, and we've got the quarter-ton activities, man, the lead out here with 400 watts. I mean, this is going to be... What, you want a lead-out train? This is the man to be on, I think, right?
Absolutely. Another all-star Zwifter that we're picking up. This is the sweet spot of Zwifting. There's the attack tank. There you go. You can see how they're deploying that coast. Exactly what we talked about earlier in the broadcast. Who's going to take that bait? It
Kevin
is
Osborne.
on like Donkey Kong. It's Osborne.
Woo! Palmer Smith goes early. What? What is this Swiftcraft? He almost never does this. He's going from way out. Can he hold this orange numbers all the way to the line?
He's going berserk. He's going berserk. This is crazy. What a finale now. So this is going to be coming over the top, and this is going to be the final big play. Will this be enough? Oh,
but
my
now
goodness.
over the top, Kev Osborne actually gets the lead out here from Paul Smith. Paul Smith now going to fade. That was the lead out trainers. All that was. It's now okay. Can he hold on? Can Osborne hold on?
These are not the droids that you're looking for.
Here they come. It's going to be the Electric Spirit Company. The Electric Spirit Company is just going to be layout train for
That's
Ken.
the charge.
Ken from Evo. Evo's going to take it down. It looks like I think that's going to be Ken at the line. What a move. How many different times did it change about who was going to win that bike race?
That's how you do it. And again, see, these guys are sharpening their swords out here. A fantastic finish. That was fun to watch. Our C's, again, we found so much spirit in our community coming out of this particular C group on Monday. So, right, we really appreciate you riders. I hope that was, I'm sure there's a lot of riders right now that are basically into bucket mode, Nathan.
Yeah, good point. Well, in with the D category, we found him. We found them. They've got a little over a K to go. Nygaard here now, it looks like, from DBR on the front, hammering away 175 beats per minute. The Lion King is here as well. Watch out for him. What is this flag?
Lloyd is back. This was one of the funniest moments that we've had this year. I'm going to quickly recap that. At one point, Nathan and I were convinced that with his Goldtron that he had named himself the Lion King. It turned out that was absolutely not the case. His name is Lloyd King, and that's his given name. He's a great dude. He was super fun about it. And doesn't he call himself the Lion King now?
Now he does. It's in his name.
Yeah,
it's in his name now. It's actually in his name now. So it's absolutely great.
We love you, Lloyd.
This is who we're looking at right here. He's got the headphones on. He's been doing some spins here on the big spin. Like it.
So nice. Nice to see you out there, Lloyd. Thanks again for being part of our community. Let's see who's going to be in this gallop, Nathan, because they're about to get stuck in here. This is our final race out on course for London Classique today. They've raced 2 laps, and typically there's a monster attack to expect right here, right now.
Now, Dave, there's another rider here, Naka Ituriot. I probably just demolished that name, but he's got a flag that I was really unfamiliar with, honestly. I'll see if I can find him back out here again. And it's only one, but rarely is there ever a flag that I'm not familiar with, actually, out on Zwift. I think he may be attacking off the front, actually, but it was Saint Pierre and Miquelon, which is a territory island, it looks like, off of France. Is that correct? I believe that is correct here.
Looking into it myself here. This is
we're
the
into
white
a sprint here.
flag.
We'll maybe talk to it
that's
afterwards.
Malta. I was looking at a Malta flag. No,
gotcha.
You're right.
No, there's one out there that I'm not familiar with, but I've never seen that flag, but it's a mixture flag.
Did you see Joseph de Manuel's flag there? I had never seen it before, and this is something you're exactly right. We love about our communities. It's
all these flags. Now, wait a second. We got to jump in with Not So Slim. Because he's doing our Mr. Man.
That's it. Sorry.
Loving it. Well, that's a flag we've seen before that he's been flying.
And the race is
the
ending.
Mr. Man.
Look
and
at
the race
this.
is ending, so we need to jump in with this. Not So Slim. Is he going to hold on? Oh, drum toe. Did he get him? He did. Oh, my gosh. I think drum toe might have got him. We'll take a look at that as we get the results in. But
wow, what a rush to the line. I just got to
highlight this, though. I mean, I just absolutely love that he does
Which one is this, Nathan? We've seen about 4 of these now.
I think that's Mr. Silly.
Oh, that would fit. He's got that kind of crazy smile.
I think it's Mr. You know what's crazy is if I remember that's from my childhood.
Right.
Like, it's
there's
not.
going to be a
Mr.
lot of this as
Scribble, maybe Mr. Scribble.
Well, that would work.
I think it's Mr.
It's interesting to me, Nathan, that clearly this happened after I was in my childhood because I've never seen these.
It's like man. I remember a lot of the names, and it was something that's like really. It's like a core memory too. These because they would have them at my grandma's house because they were like an English thing, I think, and like they were really into stuff that was out of the UK. Like really, there was some trips that were taken over. And so we always had this stuff that was kind of offbeat from regular American culture. I feel like in some sort of way, but it was really like core formative years that I like where like. Those books have like a touch thing to it more to me in my memory, if that makes sense, because I was so young. Anyways, yeah.
The Nathan, for people my age, if you're an American, it would be, and some people comment on this, I bet, would be Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. I'm old enough that they still used hand puppets on TV to entertain kids. Right? I mean, that's how old I am. They were, I was around when rim breaks existed. So,
that's still a discussion, though. I can't believe it's still a discussion. Like, there was this post the other day. Like, it's always when there's a wheel change, right? And then the Facebook comments just go nutso, right? And my take was like, yeah, but like the stability and speed gained from having a through axle on a disc brake is like crazy compared to that one time you happen to have a flat. Like, come on here. Anyways, I'm very opinionated about, like, disc brakes. Nope, sorry. Disc brakes. It's just the way to go. Like, maybe it's my
so you guys taking a short break over at the wrap there, but I know you'll be back soon.
You want us to bring up disc brakes? I don't know. That's, like, pretty intense.
No, I don't. I can't handle that discussion. But I do want to say how much everyone in the community appreciates the wrap, and I can't wait for you guys to be back. But, yeah, this is the final Lap It Up this month, too. So another successful themed month of racing on Mondays. Always super enjoyable. That I definitely, Nathan, I appreciate that. I'm sure with today's, we're still in top 30 mode, I think.
We're definitely in top 30 mode. We got top 30. No problems. Let's jump down in, take a look at how things played out in that A category. I thought D. Kong was going to take this down with this jump from the line. Osbe was the early lead out that was being chased down. And then Kong came up over the top, but look at the timing from Jean Verme. And he's on that safety bike in the lower left-hand corner here right now. Jean Verme comes through at 15.6 at 100 meters, but he had to hold that super high wattage, like around that 9 to 10 for quite a while, and then bam, right on through the pack at 100 meters to go, 15 watts per kilogram. Verme sprints right on through and shows why he is one of the best sprinters out on Zwift. I think it was Gay and Ruiz there taking that second and third. Let's go ahead and take a look at the results.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see, right? Like with John Verme out here racing, you really do see why some of these guys stay on top. Is they do the work. And Nathan, I'm going to have to get a graphic upgrade on this one for me to read it, or I'll let you do it today.
But, nope, I got you. No problem. Let's see what I can do for you here. I didn't know. You could have told me the whole time you weren't getting 4K. We can give you 4K all day. There you go.
Wow. That was like when the eye doctor says, is this or this? And one of them is incredibly good because that's crystal clear.
So the last time Dave came in, he was like in some hotel somewhere that couldn't handle any internet. And I was giving him literally mobile definition just now at like 240p, you guys. And Dave has been doing the whole broadcast at 240p. So shout out to Dave for like working his eyes. It's good for you, Dave. Your eyes had to strain a little bit there.
100%. You become a better broadcaster when you have to go through things like that. And again, Nathan, you're the best colleague that I've ever had. So thank you for everything you do. John Verme, there. It looks like the group was huge that came to the line, but John was the quickest of all. He certainly had Kirkfield, KK, right there with him. James Young for third. Michael Podzaline. This is an all-star top 10 today. Is Michael Podzaline in there for fourth. Gonzalo Ruiz for fifth. Cesar Pereira in sixth. Radek Buchweski in seventh. Tiago Pereira, eighth today. Donkey Kong, are you kidding me? In ninth.
He was the one who went early. Donkey Kong, D. Kong from Switzerland was the one who went early.
D. Kong. Oh, I should have known.
Mario he jumped enough barrels. He found the hammer. He saved the princess.
Yeah, he got to the princess. Yep. So ninth, hey, I wonder if that has any connection, but Donkey Kong, you're making us feel good. And Gokum Osbey, superstar, top 10 today for Gokum. So as we have always had fun with this group, top 30 has become the regular, and EP is in the second page, 11th. Cedric Richard for 12th, Jan Bauer for 13th, Lars Lowe for 14th. Today it was 15th place for Kev Fowler, Viramu Kaihau, Wairamu Kaihau in 16th, Carlos Flores for 17th. It's Tord Alnyong for 18th, Brian O'Brien in 19th, and the top 20 includes Andres Sommer today. 10 to go because these guys made the top 30. Ruben de Miguel de Lucas for 21st. Cuba Standeski for 22nd. Dan Groom 23rd today. Lars Sjöström for 24th. Oscar Bergqvist for 25th. You can see how international these races are. It's one of my favorite things about it. ARMM is 26th. Phil Hunt for 27th. It's going to be West CLS B-52s. What is that? Rocket ship. 29.
I think it's an alien. I think it's actually an alien. I think it's an alien spaceship.
Space saucer.
Yeah, something like
Space
that.
saucer, you'd call it something. So Anders Broberg for 29th and William Grano in 30th. We ask a lot of you, Nathan. We really do.
I appreciate how much you guys asking me. Well, here it is, the sprint in the Bs. It was the Dragons going early. I thought maybe there was a big enough gap. This is still about 500 meters to the line. Greipel trying to hold on. It looks like Laurent there from SWAT's going to be the lead out to chase this down. Axe was unable, though, to hold on to the line, and that's been the theme of the day, hasn't it, with this Classique? There'd be somebody coming into that sprint section with 100 meters to go, and nope, it's going to be the sprint coming through with the speed. Negative 1% gradient tends to do that, and at the line, we weren't able to call it B-end, or maybe May the Draft Be With You was able to take that down. I'm going to go ahead and just bring up the results to get an idea, because I cannot call that one at all. Yeah. And we look here. It is going to be, there it is. The Irishman, Ben Ed, took it down.
I'm going to throw an analogy at you. Let you see what you think, Nathan. Winning these sprints on London Classique is like trying to get the right wave coming in at Maverick or one of the surf spots, right? You just have to be able, it's a little bit of luck. You have to be strong enough and be positioned well enough, but knowing that these are the riders that are going to be the final sprint. And this is when you go. It happens in a small window out there, but it's easy to take that first step wrong, and you can never quite, you can come back and get on the podium, but to come back and win requires, threading that needle. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it does. It really does. You got to make sure you know exactly who you're looking at.
Yeah, that's right. You can't go with the wrong wheel, because if they fade too early, then you're kind of left out there stranded. So Ben N gets it right. Ben, awesome job today. Marius Fosside, may the draft be with you. So May 4th coming up, right? Pretty quickly here. So Marius Fosside, good to see you on silver spot today. Panu Alal Usawa in third. Nicholas Alkvist in fourth. Patrick Molinari for fifth today, Laurel, in sixth. It's going to be BX for seventh. Andreas Gersel for 8th, Philip Potzer 9th, and then Dan Manalo. I told you I met Dan in person, right? Over there.
Yeah.
At Levi's Fondo. Great guy. Super cool to see you, Dan, out there racing. 10th today there. So, I don't know why we always thought he lived in Hawaii. He doesn't.
Because he had a waterfall in the background in his profile picture.
Yeah. He does live in a beautiful place, though, Sonoma. So, P.A. Patterson for 11th. Martial Potier in 12th, Inge Torkson in 13th. It's going to be Dammy Stream in 14th, Robert Risberg for 15th, Jason Jacoby 16th today, Johan Lance for 17th. It's Mark Baker in 18th, Per Ola Linden 19th, and then different Hugh Davies. So I'm with you, Nathan. I thought,
good call. So there's a Hugh Davies and a Hale Davies, both of them on the WLC team. That's got to be a little confusing.
Yeah, and also definitely, I'm going to say both Welsh too, probably. So we had a lot of interesting name situations today, all positive though. That's going to be A. Greipel For 21st, Yassine Sissi. In 22nd, Fab V Fab the 5th. In 23rd, Jorge Saez, 24th today. Aaron Gunkel for 25th, Luis Castro. 26th, it's Ian B. in 27th. The Andrew Todd, 29th, and then Richard Golser, 29th with Argoyo. Rounding out our top 30 today for our Bs. So, Nathan, I'm sure you got the Cs queued up. This is our man, Paul. How'd it go for him?
Well, he made that move really early through the last time through Trafalgar Square with a little bit, about 700 meters to go over the top. He was hoping that Army Cycling, I think, would help him out with Kev Osborne. Kev Osborne does go right on through. Maybe he was actually the lead-out man for Kev, perhaps, as the two of them were off the front. Paul here fading quickly. Now Osborne trying to hold on to the line, but here comes Electric Spirit Company. It was Bukak here now making the big kick at 8.4 watts per kilogram, but he also just lead-out man as we have that common theme. Last 100 meters to the line. Can he hold on? And he just did. The timing. Now, that was a little bit more of a drawn-out sprint because I don't think we had quite the same amount of bodies that were able to kind of make it happen as far as the churn of this crazy over-the-top speed. Kent just made the right timing there to kind of find himself off the front with 50 meters to go and held on to a bike length or two. Nice timing by him in order to make that happen. Let's go ahead and take a look at the results as they come on in, and it does look like the C category will be Dan Kent at the top.
Yeah, thanks, Nathan. You nailed it. Top of the tables, Dan Kent. Doesn't get better than that. Torsten Mortog in second today, and Fingers in there for third. Lee Mitchell for fourth. It's Gary Price fifth. Patrick Winder, sixth place today. Kevin Osborne in seventh. Sam Bukak in eighth. Greg Harper ninth. And then Thomas Fisher rounds out our top 10. That was a competitive group out here for our C's today. Let's take a look at the next page with group. There he is. Nice. So group getting stuck in with 11. It's Ricky Devenish in 12th. Ole Christian Hagen finds the top 13. The Baker's dozen. Stefano Bortolo 14th. Ty Diddy in 15th. Howard Devenish. So looks like maybe brothers, Nathan. Who knows? We'll figure it out. But the Devenishes both on the page there. 12th and 16th. It's Howard and 16th with Peter Backlund 17th. Michael Nurlander from Team NL there in 18th. Michael Richards 19th, and then James Stevenson rounds out our top 20. One page to go for the C's. Getting in the top 30 is a big deal. It's going to be Sean Farron for 21st, James McLaren 22nd, Lewis Wood 23rd, Ted Baker 24th, Steve Mays in 25th. Pete Watkins Dub is 26th, Neil McBride for 27th today for our C's. Alexander Haw found his way into 28th. Rounding out your top 30, Alex Martins made it, and then how about Mark Kolkoff? In a strong group today, Nathan. He makes it into the honor roll here on CCL. That leaves one final race to review. Let's jump in and look at what inside the last K already here for the D's.
Yeah, 300 meters to go or so, and Not So Slim was off the front. Was he able to hold on to the line, or will he be caught? And he was just barely caught. It is the theme of the day. I thought out of all of them, maybe this one was going to be able to make it happen, but Drumtoe with the timing with 200 meters to go makes the big kit, gets the better of Sliver. Now, I think Drumtoe got him at the line here. That's photo finish. You know, I called it just a moment ago that maybe he got him, but I haven't actually taken a look at the results yet. That's so close there.
This is a back-end API issue.
100%. I mean,
we're going to take a look. Yeah. Oh, boy. The photo, so where is the line? You first say. Is it right in the middle?
It's a bad camera angle.
Arch?
It's a bad camera angle.
Right.
I'd not have a job anymore if that was how we were calling these things.
Boy, I would fire you if you were photo finish at, right. I'm just kidding.
Oh, he got him. He got him.
Yep. So let's run through it, Nathan, because
how much he got him by, though? 6 1,000
it was a huge
of
gap.
a second.
It was 6 millionths of a second. The bat of a hummingbird's eye, right? Something even quicker than quick. So Tosin, nice job out there taking the win. It's Not So Slim for second. These are D's that we're looking at now with Alex Maltzer for third. Peter Sleva fourth today, Peter, always up there. Mike Ade for fifth. It's Jan Niklas Veschelberg for sixth. There is our man Lloyd, the Lion King, in seventh. Lloyd King. It's Inaki Ituriots in eighth. Joel Teft for ninth. And then Paul W. finds that first page. Always nice to be in that top 10. So good job, gentlemen. For our Ds, we'll go a little deeper now with R. Nygaard for 11th, Brent Fender. 12th today, John Grawl, you did it. 13th, Lars Ringland. 14th, Dominic Harrison. And 15th, Mark Strevens for 16th. Andreas Schmitz for 17th. Christian Zeba in 18th. Kevin Old, 19th. And then Massimiliano Firmani in 20th. Nathan, we always promise top 30. You always deliver. It's Keith Buchanan. Wow, sorry. I don't always deliver. Keith Buchanan in 21st. Albert Oliveira, 22nd. Steve Culliford for 23rd. Christian E. Scherb in 24th. Peter Hestek for 25th. Olivier Bernard for 26th. Beatrice Rambaldi, 27th. In our D's, Kev with 28th. Ian Ferguson, 29th. And we say thank you to everyone as Ryan Condon will round out our result page here, the result review that we love doing on Mondays. Lap It Up is going to wrap it up here, Nathan, for the month of April.
Yeah, that's going to be it for Z Racing for the month of April. We'll be back, though, next week for the month of May. I actually need to get on top of what's going on for the month of May. We'll get that scheduled, though, as quickly as possible, as we'll be back next Monday for your Z Racing stage number 1 as we get going into that GC. Now, you can race for the rest of the week, though, for this stage number 5. So if you do want to take on the London Classique and try and get a GC out there, go ahead and do so. They should be up and ready to go for you on the hour, every hour, for some Z Racing. Dave, it's been a great broadcast. I absolutely love this community. But we, ZCL, will be on break until next week, Monday then, and then we'll be back on some regular scheduled programming, as well as trying to throw in some new races to be highlighting in the community. If you want to do so, go ahead and help out the channel a lot by subscribing, liking, following, commenting. It does a ton for the algorithms out there. We've been live on Twitch, we've been live on X, and we have been live on YouTube. But the big focus on YouTube. Dave, you're traveling right now. Is there anywhere? And one thing I want to highlight, I mean, we were at some in real life races yesterday, and we met Zwifters at every one of them. We met Farm Watts yesterday. We were hanging out with Farm Watts. Yeah, Hayden. Yep, we got pictures on our Instagram stories with Hayden Pucker. It was great to meet him. He had raced a gravel race on Saturday, and then did 2 crit races in southeast Wisconsin and Kenosha yesterday. It was really great to see him and meet him, as well as a lot of other riders that are from the community within all the fields. And then the day before that, we've met them before, but the Wenrose, Paige Wenroe and her husband, at it was Monster. They called it the Monster or something race. The University of Chicago's cycling club put it on. We were down there at the University of Chicago for some crit racing. So it was really good to meet a lot of the community. And you were at BWR this weekend and probably saw plenty of community members as well, I would think, or at least some Zwifters were hanging out there.
Well, Nathan, I mean, and I know, our lives we share these great moments together, and then you do a lot of really cool stuff, and I am really lucky to be at BWR. But that experience that you had this weekend has become the norm for me, right? Because I'm at events a lot of weekends, and I mean, I could list 20 people that would come up and say, "Hey, tell Nathan I said hi." Like the guys from the Caffeine and Watts, they're out of Scottsdale, Arizona. They love you, and they were asking me how you're doing, and I was like, told them you were at Zwift World, and it's they care. They're part of our community, and so I saw Whitney and Michael
you
Sweet
saw Whitney
as well.
and Michael Sweet this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great.
Absolutely. And, yeah. So, and I mean, That's the life that we're building with Zwift Community Live is a big part of it. It's super enjoyable. And I don't even want to, I know we have to wrap this up, but there were a ton of Zwifters that came up and said hi throughout the weekend. It was absolutely incredible to see Sophia Vichafanye doing what she did as well. She's such a huge star, and Matt Beers in the race. But that's for, you can always find all that information on social media. But Nathan, it's been a fun Monday. It's always fun on Mondays.
100%. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. If you are going to La Crosse this weekend for the TT road race as well as the crit, we will be there, La Crosse, Wisconsin. So if you are looking to do some in real life stuff, that will be a focus you'll hear a lot about here on Zwift Community Live throughout the entirety of the summer. We will be talking about wherever we're going to be at in order to connect with the community. So Dave, if there is anywhere that you want to shout out at all over the weeks, make sure to let people know so that they can connect with us in real life. But other than that, are you going to be somewhere this weekend, Dave, or no?
Yeah, thanks for Nate. Wow. I'm going to an event I'm absolutely stoked for. It's called Go To It. It's the desert gravel. So they race from Colorado into Utah. It's got a dinosaur theme. You're talking about the Colorado National Monument, and Moab is all right in that part of the country. So it's a really, really fun organizer, a gentleman named Morgan, who puts on just a great race, and I got a cool Airbnb to stay in out there. So it's going to be a little more relaxed than, the intensity of San Diego and Belgian Waffle Ride. So, but it's a big event. They have, mega with riders, but in a very small little community. So I really enjoy getting to go to all these different places around America and do the stuff. So I'll see a lot of our Zwifter friends there, for sure, the Colorado crew especially.
Heck yeah, sounds good. Well, maybe we'll see you all in real life. Otherwise, we will see you for next week's Monday Z Racing. As always, everybody, we really appreciate all of you out there in the Zwift community. And from Dave and I, ride on.